Welcome back to Workers and Resources. We're back in our Republic after we have built an iron loading setup. The storage itself seems like it wasn't necessary, but the upgrade to a 6-lane solution was really good. Allows us to have a lot of trains and make sure we are constantly loading iron. And it will make it easier in the future to balance the setup as well. Otherwise, we've also started developing our road network towards the southwest of the map and are attempting to set up a new settlement in this area. I'm kind of wondering if I should make this a 2-lane bridge, or rather 4-lane, but I think it'll be fine. Could add another bridge here if we wanted to. But we'll go with this, and we might have another junction or so. We'll see. I was planning on setting up this settlement with a high density brick building area, and I still kind of want to do that. Without flattening, I think this is going to get a little bit more difficult, because the buildings do not like being placed close to road if there's elevation changes. But we'll see what we can do. So this is lower, this is higher up, and then it gets lower again. Sewage can probably go into the river here or into the bay. Water production would be made locally. I don't know if we probably have to use a car route again to get some firefighters here. It's quite far away. Quite distant. Okay, what is your issue? Construction train. Probably demolishing something. Trying to turn around here. Or just getting stuck, I guess. Trying to demolish this one, I think. Yeah, I think this is the right choice with the setup here. We'll get to keep most of it. There we go. Excellent. So yeah, I guess we're gonna try and work towards our new area. It'll be a small settlement, enough that supplies can be brought here by truck and we don't run into any problems. And with the settlement in the area, we can probably build a setup for train deliveries. We still have to lay down the tracks for that. can't terraform any further. But we can set up a rail line construction here for what we could terraform. Let's use the other rail first, because that it will be the limitation of how far the train line can go to the river. And the rest will do. Once we know where we are heading, there might be a cut through here, it might go that way, I don't know yet. We'll leave the last section off and move it in at a later time. Okay. That way, can continue construction. Up here is our entrance into the town, and we have to figure out a way where we don't run into traffic issues. There will be quite a bit of supplies, quite a few supplies running into this. Why can't we flatten this? Oh, there's something there. Okay. Or some footpath for some reason. I don't know how much diagonal road we could make work with the buildings. I think we're gonna stick to a grid pattern here. I'm gonna set up like 3 houses and try to get them run in the area. Will be the start of the city. It'll be our attempt to get like an enclosed space with some way to get everything running. So the setup idea, maybe we'll flatten things. I mean, this area, if I'm thinking about the size that this town could get to, if we are continuing with this pattern, is, well, it's quite extensive. Yeah, maybe we can make this work. Maybe this will actually look nice. Maybe. Power substation, electric... Wait, what? Substation? Oh, right. Yep, that is to be expected. It's sterile, yeah. I was just getting scared because it said power, but yeah, that's the substation, it just collapsed. Yeah, that's fine. Those jump scares are to be expected during Halloween season, I guess. Okay, what are you trying to build? So I can make you... Okay, you're trying to demolish that. Before you teleport home, we're going to remove that train. And then you should be able to turn around without getting interrupted. Okay, this time it works. Another train shows up here trying to demolish the other section. No, I guess that is the last section. We still need to demolish this one though. And these ones. Oh no, we don't need to do those. We can just put these in and force the right direction. Yes, that way they're using the right lane, except here. Here we have to force it by removing this one. Give me the rail construction office. And we'll start the demolition of that one. Okay, that should be the last one. The area has been cleared up. We got a refueling station that is not in the middle of the train track anymore. Still kinda want to rebuild the bridge here. It wouldn't be that difficult, we just need a way to get onto both sides. Then we could use one bridge temporarily while rebuilding the other one, but just doing that for the pillars is I think a little bit ridiculous. So we're not going to do that. Let's keep going back to our town setup and see if we can figure out a way to enclose these in a nice way. That's the store, that's the grocer. Food, meat, clothing, and electronics. We need culture, we need a pub. We need a clinic. Yeah, the terrain's gonna mess things up a little bit. Also considering the waste storages here. They are probably going to be in range if we place them like this, but then we need a road connection here. We move the pub out of the way and maybe have it face that direction. Maybe we can get it hooked up. The road's probably going to turn into a road with footpaths before people move in. So the pedestrian paths are not really that important. We do want pedestrian paths around the edge. I think that has to happen. Can we get these connected? Yes. Yeah, click flattening things is a little bit awkward here. Let's try and get the outside footpath in first. Maybe we can choose to do something a little bit different. Yeah, like that. That road is gonna get in the way. I would also like to have the footpath a little bit further down here. That way, please. Smooth. And we can have that. And we can have another building here, probably, without causing too many problems. That won't work. Those elevation changes. But I don't want to flatten everything, there should be a gentle height difference between everything. Doesn't even want to flatten. Well, the footpath is not the important bit here. We can leave that bit off and place it later. That should pretty much give everything access to everything in the surrounding area. I don't know if the waste storages are enough to cover everything, but judging by this distance, they probably would. I do believe there should be a kindergarten in the area. I don't know if it needs to be a medium or a large-sized one. By my own calculations, if this is 300 people, 600, 900, 1,200. 1% would be 12, 5% would be 60. I thought 60 would be, like 5% would be a good number, and we have double that. Trying to find a scalable, smallest independent housing unit? Hello, Universum. No, I'm trying to make a high density brick building town, and finding a way to lay it out. This is not the smallest independent housing unit. I'm trying to do what I did in Hellas. What I did here, but on a larger scale. I want to try and build a city made out of these kind of roads, with this kind of design. So narrow housing blocks with a road in between, and then the back area got out of control in this. So we had a lot of stuff being built outside of the housing, and the old town vibe didn't really happen. So I'm trying to keep everything under control from the beginning, and maybe have it become a whole design of its own. We do need a bus stop here too. Don't think we can fit one in easily. Maybe. So yeah, it's not a broad concept, it's just the beginning of a new town. What I'm trying to figure out. No road connection here. Don't know if we can force one. Maybe. That seems like it might work. Yeah, now we have a connection here. That means we might be able to get the clinic hooked up to it. Very nice. And yeah, I should probably flatten the area out because this is getting annoying with the elevation. I think we'll have to flatten this before I start continuing. I'm getting really annoyed by the dots getting in the way, so we'll start again. But we know what we're building, so it shouldn't be difficult to get that in place again. And I can apparently do a little bit of work with the roads to create extra junctions. Yeah, look at that. Too much elevation difference here. Trying to smoothen that out, not really enough. We'll just have to flatten out this hole in the middle. And I might have to get more terraforming vehicles in the area. And we could go for a small setup. We have to decide on what units have to be part of a housing unit. I think a clinic would make sense, but it could probably be put into a unit that has things like the police station, which doesn't need to scale. The school doesn't need to scale. Kindergarten technically also doesn't need to scale, but it's probably a good idea to put that into this unit setup. I need more terraforming equipment. This is getting annoying. Let's double our terraforming equipment and do that later. It will help. Heating plant. Heating plant will probably be 1 or 2 heating plants for this area at the start. Kilometer away, over a kilometer away with a heat pumping station. Probably in the harbor area. But I'm not sure if we should set it up with a small heating plant first just to get it off the ground before we can set up the large one. Because I don't think we get firefighters here reliably. It's a little bit dangerous for that reason. Yeah, we have enough trains for export. There's not a lot of trains on the track causing traffic jams, which is nice. I already took down this rail, and now everything is done, except the bridge, where the pillars don't align. But that's okay. I'm not angry. Just disappointed. We can also think about the potential for the steel mill. That would be the other thing to build. Steel mill was supposed to be set up here originally, then the chemicals and the coal mine took the place of that. It's pretty extensive. So the steel mill might go here. I don't know if there's any other resources in the way. There's nothing here. Nope, it's all fine. Don't know about uranium or bauxite. I don't know if we could set up another coal mine. Might be an idea to have another one – 'Cause locally in this area, supplying coal directly to the steel mill, but seems like that's not going to be possible. The other options are we have a coal deposit here, we have a bunch of coal scattered around here, we have one next to our harbor area, that one seems to be fairly rich. And I guess with a harbor area we could have a ship bringing coal to an unloading station and use it in the steel area. Other option of course could be a steel mill just right on the harbor area itself. Hello Shariashu, welcome. Then the coal deposit across on this hill would be easy to hook up. And we would just have to worry about bringing the iron to this location. That's a very nice coal deposit. Could probably fit 2 coal mines here and supply a steel mill completely, leaving our other coal mine by itself. Maybe the harbor will have to have the steel mill. Then the iron transport will have to travel quite far, but that's okay. Yeah, I guess the steel mill could come into this area. Coal mine. 3 to 4 processing plants each mine. We need up to 375 tons of coal, which would be 4 coal ore processing plants, I think. That is 480. 360 with only 3 of them, which wouldn't be enough. But it's basically enough. 360. So 3 coal ore processing plants running at full capacity would basically be enough. And we could put in 1 train from the other coal mine, but realistically 4 processing plants would supply enough coal for the steel mill and probably the heating plant in this area if we set up another coal plant here and plan the steel mill around it. I guess this will be the area for a coal mine and the steel mill. I guess we can also draw the road out further, going along the hill and tunneling through underneath the river here, and then hooking back up these roads together. In case we want a settlement in this area, this could probably hold another village, but we don't really need a village right now. There's no need for any other town area, I don't think. Well, they can start the bridge soon. It's two blocks to build. Shouldn't be difficult. And in Kolata we have to set up a storage area for the resources to be brought here. Set up a proper power supply. We could hook it up only to the power plant, but I think that would be foolish. There will be a power line going up to Kolata, there will be a switch in the area, and then from that switch we would hook it up to maybe Hellas or somewhere similar. So we have at least 2 power lines going there. It is supposed to hold an oil power plant. But yes, I think we have to start developing the power network here from a setup that is available locally. The settlement itself is bound to grow at some point. I'm not even sure if we want to relocate the scrapyard at some point. Maybe the town will just grow this way and the industrial area will develop here. Probably large-sized heating plant in this area with maybe an oil refinery, but most likely just an oil power plant, which would leave this area for basically providing the electricity to, and hopefully not burning down. Might need a fire station. Make sure this is safe at that point. We would have to make the switch to this power connection sometime after spring to make sure they don't die due to exposure. And then basically just a power line here, past Zagreb Reach into our power line connection. We don't need a lot of electricity there, but I will still use a... Well, we will use a full-size power connection because there will be a power plant in that area, so it makes sense. A little bit worried that this will cut right on top of the hill. Nope, it's fine. Well, that is fine. Distance between poles is too large, really. Oh, the water. Okay. And then yeah, we can hook up our existing infrastructure to it. I think I'll switch all of the substations around. We do have a medium voltage switch here. We could take out some of those power lines, but I think I'll try and hook everything up to 1 or 2 transformers instead. This is a 5-time switch. One is for input, the other 4 are for output. And the other high voltage line is probably going to go towards Hellas if we still have a connection here, which I don't remember. We don't. We do have more connections in this area, but that's not really set up to be used that easily. We do have one up here, so we could start bringing 18 megawatts down this way as well, depending on how the electric network decides that the balancing should be done. And then just have the power line go past Singriopol Lake and up into the iron mine. Since there's no development further in this area, and it's not clear if we want anything here, I think that's probably our best bet. That'll leave us the option open to maybe have another transformer here or something. Okay, gotta get past this Brisbane lake. We're heading towards Krasna iron mine, so the lake here is not really in the way. I should be able to do that. And then this lake. Yep, that looks fine. Maybe hard to see at night, but for me it looks okay. And then we just get the connection in from this side into the other switch. And then we have a high voltage connection to that area too. This will be a little bit tricky because of all the other roads that we have to avoid. I would like to have enough distance between the power poles. That seems fine. Everything seems to be in order. we'll get that built. That'll provide electricity here, and more importantly allow us to move electricity out of this area once we start turning oil into electricity. It'll also get us slowly hooked off of the Eastern power imports, which I don't know how high they are, but judging by the prices, they might be fairly noticeable. Last year we spent 1.3 million on electricity imports, which isn't that much. At least not in the not compared to what else we're spending. Yeah, then this area could be an oil power plant somewhere in the area. Might have to hook up some more pump jacks, but there's lots of oil around here. I don't think I'll go for an oil refinery. The oil price is not that high, and so the fuel price doesn't really register. We'll have to set up a warehouse location to bring supplies here by train. Probably around the scrapyard would be a good idea, because there's pollution in this area, so we can't really use it for anything else. We can have a rail line go around this building as soon as we take down the wire, and then have that come into here where we have a flat space to maybe put down coal, citizen goods, construction materials, everything our heart desires. Hello Hailstorm, welcome. We'd have citizen goods. We'd have refrigerated goods. And we'd have room for more stuff. We can bring the waste out of this. 2 deliveries, food, shopping goods. We'd have waste removal. If we really want to remove the citizen waste by train, we can do that. I don't intend to have a dump here, since the waste production shouldn't be that high, but then again I don't know if the power plant makes any waste. Only 0.11 tons, so we could carry that away by train with a factory connection, no problem. So probably just a garbage transfer here, and then haul it away with a waste train. Probably need a fire station here to make sure this doesn't burn down. Fire station in town is pretty close, but I do like my fire safety. No, it should be fine. It does extinguish the oil pumps well enough, and we haven't had anything burned down, so this is probably fine. But yeah, we'll have to set up the electricity first, then we can get the rail line to go here, I think. No problem. Then we can bring food, alcohol, citizen goods. Repair materials also need to go in here. Bring everything to this area. Last thing to not forget are the construction materials, which are also going to go into this train stop station, but maybe not. I mean, we can use both. Probably have a dedicated stop for those. So train could wait here. I guess the construction materials can't really wait, because we don't know which one empties out first. And we need that for repair materials and construction. We also need a delivery point for gravel. So I guess those materials are kind of their own thing. And I don't know if there should be a factory in this area, because we could use the other side for this rail connection for bringing in a factory. Like meat production or clothing production in this area, so Colata could do something other than protecting our oil extraction, which isn't really that profitable. Prices might have changed, but I'm not sure. No, still very cheap. $2 US. We're exporting it for rubles, but it's also not really that expensive there. 1,000 rubles versus 92,000 for meat, so really doesn't register. But yeah, we could have a train come here with crops and then turn it into livestock, and turn the livestock into meat locally. And we wouldn't need a farm here. I think the livestock setup would probably be somewhere else. It might also consume a lot of crops that would then be taken away for our food production. I wonder if the train station is oversized, but I do like larger train station these days. Also tempted to go for a 6 times line, but then I would have to rework a few things. We'll leave this area here open and consider construction materials at a later time. Let's get the citizen goods here first. Speaking of repair materials, we might also just have the benefit of putting that into a warehouse itself and then using the warehouse for repair materials and moving all of the scrap materials in that warehouse before trying to export, because we do get a lot of materials out of this. It would reduce our income in rubles though, but we're spending that income on getting repair materials, I guess. Okay, let them work on the power line setup. Let's clean that up first. Should be doable this year. We'll probably take out this whole connection. I would like to keep it on the transformers. They're easier to organize. I assume the terraforming vehicles haven't arrived yet. They'll take a while. Let's try and flatten a little bit without them. Okay. So looking forward to the new Siberia map. It's gonna make heating and coal way more important. It's gonna reduce the ability to have crops, thus probably making food way more expensive. And then the question is, will you go for crops still? Because it's gonna be more profitable, or will you use it less because you can get less crops? Well, at least we've got the terraforming down, so we can set up our habitation unit again, I guess. First attempt at one. Okay, I think the initial setup was probably a good start. We want roads to go up here, we want roads to go here, and then this will probably be flattened to have more town. So I do believe we will have a T-junction here with a road coming off of this, then later on a T-junction that moves the housing more into this area. And we need to get something in place that will hold a few residents. I also plan to flatten this out a little bit more, I think. But we'll see. This might be too narrow. I think I'm gonna get into space issues with all the content inside the area, so we are going to leave a little bit extra room on the entrance. And maybe I'll have the entrance on the side rather than here. This is also very narrow. We need the entrance here. Or we need the waste storage here, one of the two. Brick buildings came back into fashion because prefabs are locked behind research, or do they have other advantages? I like the look of them. I like how they look, like old city towns. That's all it is, I guess. We have access to almost all buildings anyway. But yes, they probably came back into fashion because people were playing with research and didn't have access to everything anymore. I'm just going for them solely for the looks. And I'm still trying to make something that looks like an urban center that has been built before the development of brick buildings. And it's getting kind of difficult. So we were able to fit the shopping in here, no problem. I guess we could make that corner stores, so they are like in the middle rather than the edge that I had last time. If it lets us. We might have to take down the road and try and fit it as close as possible. We don't need the factory connection for it. We will need a local warehouse, otherwise the storage of this is not going to last very long. So maybe it'll allow us to place it like this. It won't. Too close. Well, I guess the corner store will have to be like this. This would be nice. You said you would hook up. Why do you resist? So I don't know about the kindergarten. I think it should probably be in this area, but I don't know. The museum is way too large for this. Gallery doesn't really fit. The cinema doesn't fit. Thematically. I think a pub would be okay. Sports facility. I wonder if we should go for a hospital rather than a clinic. And the kindergarten. Can't fit anything larger in scope in here. And then, last but not least, let's put a monument in place. Alternatively, we could turn this into a roundabout and just not have any space at all. This one has a range of 90 meters, which is not gonna cover these buildings. $145 would be better. This area would not be the right thing for a Red Star monument, but this one should be fine. And then the other topic is the road around this, which is going to define the high density residential area. And for that we need the other buildings around it, if more buildings can fit here. About here. So I don't know if a corner will be possible that way. It will be. So that's the density that I'm trying to go for. And we have to place the houses before any of the roads, otherwise it won't let us place the houses next to the roads. Oh, it does in that direction. Sorry, they are placed the wrong way. I meant to have the flat housing bit facing this way, and it won't let us place that. this way. So yeah, with the road connection here, it's getting a little bit awkward for how we have to pre-plan this. Barely, but it works. Don't know if we can fit those closer together. Nice city design. Hello, Project 7. Yeah, the problem with this is just if you place the road down, you can't place the buildings down anymore. So if you have the road here and you want to place that, it doesn't let you. So you need to have the buildings first. And that's the annoying part, but I'm trying to make it work somehow. Traffic jam, but it's already moving, right? Yeah, they're moving. Yeah, known problem. It's supposed to be an old town kind of layout. With a food market and a separate clothing market instead of the small mall. Yep. We basically don't need the small store for everything. The small store is basically variable. The small store can handle a lot of people. But I do like my grocers. There will be a separate shopping area, but they should be able to find food locally. Maybe the small store is misplaced. Maybe I don't need that. I do wonder if each of those areas should have a clinic. Or if I should have a larger hospital. Currently don't have a pub here either. Things I definitely don't need is the school, the police, the fire station. It's good for you, no distribution play because you have only 2 wares per store. That's also true, yeah. The dedicated grocer is really good because it basically has a dedicated food storage for itself. And then a dedicated meat storage for itself, although the meat storage is pretty small. I plan to have probably a storage area out here where they can go to pick up the food, pick up the meat, and then drive it into town. Until we have our rail-based system where they have to pick it up here and bring it into town some way along that way. But for the start we need a solution. I can probably leave a little bit of a footpath here. but I don't want to. Okay, that's too close. That's correct. Let's see how it looks when I finish cleaning. I don't think it's gonna be done by then. We need like 3 houses here and a fire station and a repair station, and basically start keeping things safe as we expand into this area, because we're very far away from another settlement. Now that road's getting in the way. Kidding me. Unbelievable. We need a market area. Plus a bus stop. I forgot about the bus stop. Maybe the kindergarten shouldn't be here. This feels like I don't have enough space for everything. Plus planning. I also need places for water and sewage for this. Although they can be... No, they have to be there. It has to be there. And electricity. This is... If we have to keep the housing density up like that, it's gonna get difficult. Really, really difficult. Because there might be another block here now, and I can't really design it yet. We do need a larger shopping center area. And that's probably going to be the place where the police station is, the hospital will be no local storage. The storage will be here temporarily. Small scale warehouse. No repair materials yet. Hopefully the repair materials won't... Oh, haven't had that issue in a while. Hopefully the repair topic won't come into play. So if we place a bus platform here, or a bus stop, and they can all walk to it, they could reach everything in the surrounding area. But I do not... This is like completely... It's basically how I envisioned Hellas Old Town, but it's different. Okay. Smallest exit possible. If this area is free, you can go here. I also kind of wanted to use diagonal roads, not everything square pattern. But we can't put that in place yet. I want to go for higher density than that. But I don't know this will connect. Oh, it might. That looks fine. Yep, that will connect. Won't like that. Can get a connection through here. It's gonna look a little bit weird. Oh yeah, and this footpath also needs to be closer. Then a shopping center, I guess. Probably without storage. At least not a very large storage. So we won't have a small store, we'll have a small shopping center. And we're not going to use the Okian supermarket, we're going to try and keep it relatively low. There's not going to be any shared resources here, so we only need to worry about food, clothing and electronics really. That is a decent amount. We don't need to go for a forklift garage, I don't think. Also, if we don't have a forklift garage, it doesn't really matter that much. Because without a forklift garage, pulling the resources out of this is getting annoying. Maybe we should try and develop this without local storage. We'll have a storage nearby and then distribute it to all the individual stores. But no storage at the store. Seems kind of risky, but we'll try it. That leaves the area a little bit more dense and probably looks better. This area we can only develop if we are sure where to place the next housing. We'll probably have a Red Star monument right next to the bus stop because many people will go to the store and the bus stop. Okay, housing, shopping, pub. We don't have culture yet. We don't have an attraction yet. We do have sport, although it's probably undersized. It's just for variety. We will have a cinema in this area too. As high density as possible. Culture, sport, probably an indoor pool at some point. They'll have to do without first. Need to find a place to fit that in. There might be a smaller housing unit with maybe an indoor sports facility. Everything needs to be accessible from the bus stop. And that should be doable. We need a school. We probably need a university here. Shouldn't be immediately necessary, but will be necessary at some point. We need electricity. We need water, sewage, we need heating. Heating is the big one. Heating is the big one. Can't read the cinema sign so close to the shop. The round part is the front. It's also written the wrong way around now that I flipped it. I thought this was the front entrance. Hello, Tillman. Well, I guess it is what it is. We can't abide by everything. If we only have one design for cinemas, then can't really change that. I thought of maybe having another road go around here for access. This is gonna be messy. We'll also have to bring a wire here to provide electricity. Ideally, I would like the supply to be over on that side and then distribute it up here. And I think I'll set that up. We do need the fire station too. We need a temporary fire station to provide safety. We can't have that be permanent yet. We need a constant route of firefighting vehicles bringing workers here. Making sure we can build this up without anything burning down. It's gonna be necessary. Yeah, we'll try to develop islands of about this size with what people need. We still need an island, quote unquote, for a sports facility. We still need an island for the school. I think both of those can go into one combined. And the university. So school, university, and an indoor sports facility with housing surrounding it. Come on. Rotate properly. There you go. Only it would. Guess we can't freehand it. Maybe. That's gonna be quite the setup. There's gonna go something wrong in this town, I already know it. Gonna try and go for looks and then something will fail. But it's gonna be glorious. We're gonna try and make it work. And yes, we have to fit a diagonal road here somewhere. That will have to happen. What's this one? Oh, that's the shopping connection, right? I feel like I need more flat space for a town like that. We'll see. But yes, we can probably design something like that. I'm not sure about that connection yet, so we'll leave it as a dirt road, I guess, for now. Any area where we have road going out of the urban area, we need to leave dirt road, because we have to change it. We need to put the houses down before the road. Oh, cool. The train did keep its colored train cars this time, so that seems... well, it kept most of them. I don't think we had that many white train cars, but I don't remember. At least it kept most of its color. Let's use 50 workers for alcohol at most and put the rest into the food factory. Now that we're not using prioritization. Still have to drop down more fields. Terraforming equipment has arrived. Flattening should now be twice as fast. dirt road will have to go away at some point, and that point might be now. Well, as soon as that vehicle goes out of the way. These ones still have to stay. Supposed to be a road coming down here. That one would be a kind of diagonal before it turns into the city. But it might be too close to that junction already. I think we'll leave that. There might be a dead-end road coming around this area, so we have a road connection here if we need it. That's gonna be one hell of a city design. Ahoy, this train parking lot looks really nice. Hello Fee, that Fee. Thank you. I built it myself. Yeah. We have incoming trains. 2-lane track, right lane. 6 parking spaces, 3 for the larger trains bringing crops here. And then a single track that splits up into 3 more parking or train lines over here that are usually run through, picking up resources, bringing passengers and the like. It does look pretty good with the really long trains sticking out. I also really like that one. That's also why we've used the larger train parking space in our new iron ore processing, although it doesn't really have a corner that well. And the trains aren't as long. So this looks a little bit more compact. But maybe I should go for really long iron trains. That could be neat. But the area is not designed for it. It's designed for a lot of trains, not long trains. Plus they have to travel from this area to over here in the future, where we will be setting up our steel mill. Is there Übergabe protocol? No, it's not yet. That's a safe game. There will be a stream of our Gemeinschaftsprojekt, our community project, where 5 people play one save game together later today. I don't know what to expect yet. I watched a little bit from the beginning, but then didn't watch the end, so we'll see. I watched the end of the stream. The first stream, where money was a little bit tight. But, yeah, I don't know. Not sure what we will be getting into, and what we should do. I heard gravel is quite expensive. If the roads all get placed like that and we can fill in the rest and put down a nice bit of design. There's some smaller statues, some gravel. The back alley area didn't really work out. We spent too much space building storages and yeah. Need to keep everything in mind. Keep it nice and condensed. I will need a technical office, I will need a lot of things, but they will not be in the town this time. We will keep town services inside the town, and then other services will have to be elsewhere. We'll start with some free technical offices here. We need a waste storage to put everything in place, and those will be moved out of the way once we have the harbor area set up. That'll basically remove all of the things. So I guess there will be a service area down here, initial technical office, and so on. Oh, this is uphill. Interesting. I thought this was downhill towards the river. I guess it isn't. So we need a temporary waste storage, basically. Until we can find something a little bit more permanent. The technical office, however, will stay in this area, I think. But once they have the waste picked up, they probably bring it down to the harbor. I don't think this will stay here. Maybe it will. I mean, it's nice off the beaten path and might look okay. We also need a gas station for the town. Definitely not here. There should be one on the outside for vehicles traveling through. And then probably one inside the town somewhere. But for the start we will need a temporary one to provide some fuel. For vehicles starting to work. Since travel distances are quite long and we will have quite a few vehicles going there at some point, we'll set up a route with 2 large trucks bringing fuel constantly to that free gas station. It's gonna be a trip. And hopefully we can have our firefighters soon, making sure nothing burns down. I guess we will also have to drop a name for that town. So let's do that now. First bus stop. Rekasebe? Rekasebes? Something like that. The game picked the name, not me. Fuel from Segadoa, fuel for Rekasebes. Kinda. Segadoa, fuel, Rekasebes. That will provide fuel for the area until we have a permanent setup for a gas station or 2. We will need electricity. So the electricity, I guess, could also come down here. Maybe we could turn this into everything. Waste and electricity, maybe remove the waste at a later time. But I thought I would have it in the harbor area. Then power lines will have to... Oh god, the power lines are gonna be annoying because I want to use Thank you. I want to use underground power lines to get to this side so we don't have bridges. Hello, Stefan. I might have to move a road in here. And get that built. That chat delay, wow. We need to talk about it? Why do we need to talk about it? I need a Übergabeprotokoll. I need to start playing. I wanted to play it today evening after the stream. After this stream, start a new stream. After I eat. Train line comes here, power line underground into a switch, and from there this is all eastern borders. Oh look, there's the other large customs house. No power connection though. There's one small customs house. So yeah, I will be playing later today. Too much to write, better talk and show. No, I'm not gonna get micromanaged. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a spy after all. You have until, I don't know, 16, 17, I think 18 o'clock. I think after I eat, I take another break and then I'll just start probably. We can figure it out. Should be fine. Did you leave enough time for me today? Like last time you stole like almost a full day from me. Do I have enough time this time? Or is it like I have to play with my arm tied behind my back already? Okay, another day gone. Why? Why, Stefan? I wanna play. Why do you take the time away from me? No, that's 1 million ruble, 100,000. Last time I left off, I think we had 400,000 US dollars, but it's nice to not have any debts anymore, I guess. Seems like the gravel is really expensive. It's good, really good. That shouldn't hinder... Yeah, the tunnel, and the tunnel will be here. So the power line with 24 megawatts potentially can be in this area. Gravel export is higher than coal currently. One ship going to the west as well. Wow, okay. Interesting. So we're having the lumber situation that I had, but it's gravel this time. Quite interesting. Five megawatts. I mean, it's going to be not a high density urban area, so I think this is going to be fine. Do I want to leave this for anything? I think so, but I have no plans for it right now. Reworking the power line could be quite difficult. We're just going to stick with the road then, I guess. That's probably also where the sewage is gonna go along down here. And then that way. Hello Chaos Penguin, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome everyone. We're playing Workers and Resources. Trying to design a high density town kinda, but it's gonna be tricky. We're probably gonna forget things and then reworking the area will be difficult. Exactly what we want. Trying to get an initial settlement set up, so that we can develop the harbor for resource deliveries and then bring in actual resources by train, and we can develop our city the way it's supposed to be. And also get a container loading harbor going. Those are the plans right now. Hello, Rubber Duck. Hello, Chaos Penguin. Good Sunday evening, or good Sunday afternoon to you. We are missing 1 hour today because of time delusion, time travel in real life. Ich bin auch da. Yes. Ich bin auch da. Community stream will happen in like 3 hours, I think. I'll take a break in between to grab some food and then I'll do the community stream. Someone already stole a day from me, so don't have enough time to fix everything, but I'll give it my best shot. I think over time, Stefan is probably going to take a whole year away from me, day after day. It's going to happen. I heard gravel is really expensive, and you're exporting it by ship. Maybe we could export it by train. I think the train would probably export it faster and be cheaper, but I don't know. It might affect the price too much. And if we're already profitable, then I guess we shouldn't overdo it. If we're loan free and we're making money, then everything sounds like it's fine. And we have a competing Naturschutzpark, I guess. A competing nature preserve. Enjoy your lurk. Yeah, I don't think I can stream that long right now. But I do want to do the community run, I believe. Not sure if I can do the whole thing in one go though. That is still open. I kinda also want construction offices over here. All the resource deliveries are gonna be fine. They're gonna happen from Segadoaha, but it is quite a road trip. Yep, this is gonna be a thing. Waste transportation is gonna be difficult. We also need a waste storage, where the resource deliveries will happen by train. And the harbor area, we're basically already... We need to define it. I need some terraforming vehicles here. Probably also need a bus end station for arriving and leaving vehicles. Once the bridge is done, we can get rid of that dirt road. Still gonna be good to have for now. That train chaos here. No traffic jams though. Yeah, right now we have a few too many trains standing around. But they don't hurt anyone. They're doing their thing. They can get repairs if they need to. And otherwise they're just exporting iron. Not that much money in it for us. But hey, we're doing some iron export, I guess. Who can compete with wood or boards? I mean, seriously. I think we can probably export chemicals again. Oh, we are. We're bringing it to the container loading facility. I guess we are still exporting. Didn't show up. Oh yeah, we're exporting it to the east, right? I forgot. It's our best selling export to the east. A few tons of chemicals. 50 million. Better than oil, for sure. How far is the fire station? All resources present, just need the workers. Hopefully it'll work. We also need to hook up the other side for the electricity on the other side of the lake, river rather. We need to get a road down here. Might need a residential area to make sure this gets maintained, otherwise we're gonna have a bad time. I guess temporarily we could also draw a high voltage wire directly and then hook it up later properly, which is probably the better idea. We don't need that much electricity right now. So we have a 4 megawatt wire going through here. That might be enough. And then later on, when we have a settlement here that takes care of this power line connection, we can take this down again. So for now, I guess we're gonna hook up next to Duceni. Oh, we just had a power line drawn here, so need to connect to this one. But this is the last connection, so we'll probably just drop in another high voltage switch. That seems okay. If we can place it, that is. What's going on here? Probably the road. That would be a lot of wire without any support. So I guess we'll have a direct power line for now, until we change things up. And the area will need more electricity. I'll limit us to 4 megawatts and make sure we can't grow the area too much. Another epidemic. We have so many of those. Our population went down quite a bit. We only have 180 21-year-olds without their own flat left. Crime is fairly high, but the rest is all like... seems okay. Pollution being a factor somewhere. Get that built and we'll upgrade the road later. Can't catch fire, so it'll be fine. Needs to be gravel only at most anyway. Logging train sneaking through. You should also choose the correct lanes from Somaska. Go here from the customs house. You gotta go here. Try and avoid the grain silo areas. There's no guarantee that they're free, even though right now we're not using all of the crops, so... Oh, I guess we are. Harvest is coming in soon again. Alright, why are you still complaining? Last time that happened, we said this comes from areas on the map that are unhappy and sending workers to Kolata instead because the... well, like, sending workers anywhere, but here it's more noticeable. Where do we have unhappy workers though? Maybe we can find it with the overlay for alcohol addiction. Alcohol addiction here is fairly low. Some of the houses are elevated. So this area seems to be fine. That one seems fine. After we fix the bus route. That is not that great. 28%. Spirituality, culture, and sport. Not sure why you're having issues getting culture. And we did raise the number of people working in the indoor pool, so presumably everyone can get the sport need fulfilled, but maybe the housing is getting to the point where We might need a larger capacity housing, larger capacity sports facility. This one seems fine. Seems okay, slight amount of unemployment. Culture enjoyment, but that's with a bus route to Valenciava, so shouldn't really be a problem. $360 would be 6 buses. I guess we only have 6, so it's slightly over. Some of the people won't be picked up in time. That one's fine. Hellas appears broadly fine. The tourists are drunk as heck, but... And we have a little bit of an issue here with unemployment, I guess. Oh yeah, we wanted to rebuild a power plant, a heating plant in this area. Korasna is what's running into problems with pollution. The idea was to have a heating plant in this area to provide heating for Korasna far away, and then an unloading station in front of it with a storage solution, and then maybe a heat pumping station. Electricity, water and sewage are available locally. And a small unloading station, basically. Allowing one train to wait here until unloaded. Making sure we have enough heating. And then a train can wait on this platform. 145 meters, and then it just connects into this line here. That would be enough distance. People of Colata just want some love from the great leader. Oh, Tillman, yes. We are building towards it. We are building towards it to give it some love. We have to build the power lines first. Get the power connection in place. Then we can remove all of the electric infrastructure and then hook up the rail line to the supply area. And once the supply area is in place, we can... and the electricity is in place, we can start developing it once we have more food available. It is being looked at. It'll take a while though. Colata is in Eastern Border City. Eastern Border Settlement. It's not a city. So I think this will provide heating for the area, and then we need a heat pumping station, or yeah, one should be enough. At the border here. somewhere in this area. Why do you love Colata so much? Are you a sympathizer? Do you have ties to Colata? It's getting a little bit weird how much you are supporting them. Something must be going on there. Next you're gonna shout freedom for Colata and do something silly. We don't want that. Large heat exchanger. I mean, we could also split it up. We could only have one large heating pipe here and split it up into 3 small heat exchangers. Large heating plant feels so oversized for this. We're gonna use one large pipe and split it up into 2 small ones. And maybe we can provide heating to another settlement or 2 instead. We'll have to take down these heating pipes again and reconnect them after we have everything in place. And then we can shut down the small heating plant for good. Fire station is here. It's time to set up the firefighter route. We'll need a bunch of firefighter vehicles to bring workers there. It's all going to be personal cars. Eastern ones because they look cooler. Connect the heat pump with the road, they can start digging the pipe already. Yep, we can do that. But the heating plant will take a while before it gets built anyway. Because I didn't make any cross connections here. But yes, they could. They could dig that already. A little bit worried about the firefighter access here, but it shouldn't be too far away. Hopefully that's good enough for it. They can build that gravel road and then dig the heating pipe, which I hopefully started. Yes, I did. It's yellow. It's probably gonna get in the way of something at some point. That's usually how it goes. Alright, firefighters. After they are in place, we can basically build everything in the area. I could bring resources locally and have some construction officers perform the construction of the settlement. But without distribution officers, it would be kind of annoying to set up. I think I'll just micromanage the... Micromanaging the construction office assignments is also not great. Workers will come from Segadoara. From the bus stop. Load any educated worker and drive them over to Recasabes. And then go through an end station. Why is it called Pohatzas? Don't know if I spelled that correctly. Need to make sure. Nice to see starting the first town on the far side of the river. Western River. That city probably needs everything on its own. Yes, it will have everything on its own. It is planned. We're gonna start small scale, building like 3 houses and everything, but it is supposed to have everything. Okay, we need to get rid of that one. Recasabes. Okay, maybe with an S, not with a C. There we go. Recasabes. Yep. It'll have everything by itself, but it will get deliveries by train. Same as Segadoara, but much further away, of course. Let's hope the fire cars show up here soon. Yeah, I think it's probably Segadoara that's like struggling. I think it might be them, even though they don't have that many issues. I think it's the only settlement that's significantly affected by pollution, and with the iron ore processing, maybe that has increased. Right now it's middle of summer and there's a lot of pollution here. During winter this is probably pretty bad. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break now. I will be back later with the community project. Maybe in an hour or 1.5. I don't know yet. But I do need a break right now, so sorry for the shorter stream today. I'll rate you over to Caesar Squires. Also streams Workers and Resources. And wish you a good Sunday. I'll be back, as I said, in 1.5 hours probably. And we'll be continuing in German, the community project. Until then, I'll drop you off towards Caesar Squires and wish you a good day. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Take care, stay healthy, and as always, maybe I'll see you next time.